Imagine 400 people paying you $50 a month. That's like 20 grand a month. Let me tell you about Teresa Perleberg because she had the weirdest idea I have ever seen that made money on the internet. And if she can make money with this idea, I bet your idea ain't so weird and it can make money too. So Teresa came to one of our workshops and she said, Shane, I've got a weird idea, man. I like to do this weird craft, this weird hobby. It's called needle felting. It's kind of like crochet. You take wool and you take this needle and you put it all together. And what happens is you make stuffed animals. And she held up like this elephant made out of wool, like sheep wool. And I said, wait, let me get this straight. So you're a needle felting stuffed animal enthusiast, and you want to teach other people how to be a needle felting stuffed animal enthusiast in their spare time? And she said, sort of, but I'm not exactly what you just said. There's layers to this hobby that I've got, this love, this passion that I like to do on the weekends and in the evenings. You see, I also like to dye my own sheep wool. I like to dye my own wool, and then I needle felt it into a stuffed animal. She holds up another little stuffed animal on the camera. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. So, Teresa, you're a wool dyeing, needle felting, stuffed animal enthusiast, and you want to create courses or teach people how to do this through coaching them, or you want to build a community of wool dyeing, needle felting enthusiasts online? And she said, well, Shane, not exactly. You see, I also like to shear the sheep myself. Let me repeat myself. I like to shear the sheep myself. I like to get the sheep, I hold it down, I shear the wool off. Then I take the wool and I dye the wool and I turn it into a stuffed animal through needle felting. And I'm like, hold on, Teresa. So you're a sheep shearing, wool dyeing, needle felting stuffed animal enthusiast, and you want to start teaching people how to do this? You think there's other people out there in the world that want to do this? And she said, yes, I bet there's other people out there that want to do this, but that's not exactly what I am. There's one more level to this. See, I also like to raise the sheep myself. I'm a sheep farmer. I like to raise the sheep. I like to shear the sheep. I like to dye the wool, and then I needle felt them into stuffed animals. And I'm like, everybody else on the call is freaking out by this point, laughing. We're having a good time. I'm like, so you're a sheep farming, sheep shearing, wool dyeing, needle felting, stuffed animal enthusiast? And you want to start a website about that? And you want to get people from all over the world to come in and learn how to do this whole process? That's like farm to stuffed animal sheep shearing or whatever it is, needle felting. And she said, yeah, that's exactly what I am. I'm that. And I want to start a website. I want to start a blog. I want to make courses. I want to coach people. I want to build a community of these people who come together and do this amazing thing. Do you think my idea will work? Can it make money online? And I said the same thing to Teresa that I say to all my other students. The only way you'll ever know for sure if an idea will work is to give it a try. You can't listen to the doubters. You can't listen to the haters. You can't listen to the naysayers. Any idea can work. There's 8 billion people on the planet. You only need 100 people to pay you $50 a month to make $60,000 a year. Do the math. So let's go out and see if we can find 100 sheep farming, sheep shearing, wool dyeing, needle felting enthusiast, Teresa Perleberg. Let's put it online. Let's see what happens. So she did. She took action. She built the blog. She got a lead magnet. She started building out courses to teach people how to make these stuffed animals, the whole process, and she put it out in the world. And you will not believe what happened, man. She built an online membership, an online business from home of over 400 sheep shearing, wool dyeing, needle felting, stuffed animal creating enthusiasts. Imagine 400 people paying you $50 a month. That's like 20 grand a month. And she built this incredible community all on this ludicrous idea that she put out in the world. But once she started having success on that side of it, her business grew. Now, everybody didn't want to be the sheep shearing, sheep farming part. Some people just wanted the wool that they could dye and they could needle felt it into these stuffed animals, these statues, these wool statues that she creates. So she started shearing her own sheep and created a little box with a kit. And she started sending out a subscription box out into the world and started charging for that. So now she's making money sending wool to other people. Well, this became so popular, y'all, that she ran out of sheep to shear. She had a bunch of naked sheep running around her farm. So she had to partner with another sheep farmer to get more sheep to shear so they could box it up and send it out into the world so that other people would have wool to dye that they could needle felt into these stuffed animal wool needle felted statues. But it didn't stop there. When you take action on your ideas, when you start doing things out in the world, crazy things happen. Your business has opportunities to grow, but you got to take that first step to get that second and third step. Well, her next step, Teresa and her partner, man, they started looking around. They're like, man, wouldn't it be amazing if people could come here to our place in North Dakota? I didn't even know there were people in North Dakota, let alone you could visit there. Is there an airline that goes to North Dakota? Apparently there is. So she said, wouldn't it be cool if people could come to North Dakota and they could shear our sheep and they could dye the wool and they could needle felt it into these stuffed animal statues, but we could all do it together live and in person. So her and her partner, they bought this old elementary school, this old schoolhouse. They remodeled, refurbished the whole thing, and they turned it into like a bed and breakfast kind of thing. And they have these conferences there. They have these events there where people from all over North Dakota, all over the area, all over even the world can fly there, can stay there, and they can spend the weekend being sheep farming, sheep shearing, wool dyeing, needle felting, stuffed animal statue enthusiasts. And when they go home, they can put their little stuffed elephant in their carry-on bag. Ain't that crazy? That's the craziest idea I've ever heard. And listen, I bet your idea for an online business ain't that weird. So whatever your idea is, be like Teresa, man. The only way to know is to go. You got to go out and you got to start building that online business. You got to try that idea. There's 8 billion people on the planet, man. If you can get 100 of them to pay you $50 a month, that's $5,000 a month, $60K a year. 200 is 120. You only have to be right. 0.000000001 or 2% of the time. You can be wrong 99.999% of the time. Everybody ain't a stuffed animal, needle felting, wool dyeing, sheep shearing enthusiast, but Teresa didn't need everybody. She just needed the people that liked what she did, and that's all that you need too. So why don't you go out? Why don't you try that idea? Why don't you see what works? And who knows, you too might be a wool dyeing, sheep shearing, needle felting enthusiast, just like Teresa Perleberg, y'all. Don't be afraid. Just get up and go and try your idea. You have God-given gifts, things you like, things you've loved, things you've learned, things you've lived through. Heck, you might even have a ludicrous idea too. The only way to know if it'll work is to give it a try. All right, I'm going to go out here and work around the house, get around the pond a little bit, do some work. Y'all have a great day.